Hey, Matt.
Why, hello. Fancy meeting you here.
We should stop meeting like this. Our paths always intertwine. Fleeting love interests. Yeah. Why not? Who cares,
Welcome
right?
to Gamers 2 Rom-Com.
Honestly, a Gamers 2 rom-com with us would be exactly like every other rom-com, where we're both just living each other's separate lives, and then we happen to always just like cross paths in weird spots, but never get the chance to actually talk to each other because we have to go somewhere else.
Okay.
It'd be like Not Catch Me If You Can. What's that other one? Sleepless in Seattle, where they just keep like missing each other by like seconds.
I don't know. I haven't seen Sleepless in Seattle in a very long time.
I'm making a reference to a joke by John Mulaney, and I can't remember which one he makes. So now I'm, just copying artists because I'm a douchebag. Anyway, speaking of copying artists, moving right into the news.
Okay, it's just chaos here.
Segues. Anyway, what are we doing?
It is December 21st, 2018, and we're doing a gaming podcast called Gamers 2.
Live from New York.
We are in New York.
It's Friday night.
It's not necessarily, well, it's live for us right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that matters. We're the only ones that matter here.
Fuck the rest of you people.
Wow. All right, I didn't say that. Anyway, what of seeing how we like to think we keep it gaming related, what have you been doing since last Friday?
Working.
Solid answer.
What else have I been doing? I mean, everything I was watching last week.
Nothing added.
Nothing added
Okay.
because no time.
Fair enough.
No, everything is on like break right now too, so that's kind of unfortunate. I did buy Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's on sale through the Ubisoft store.
Through Uplay?
And
Are you playing? What are you playing on? Are you playing on PC?
PC.
Okay.
PC. Game is gorgeous.
Okay.
Runs better than Origin. Like, noticeably better, which is weird.
Maybe they fixed your weird threading problem.
I don't know. It's whack. It still chugs in cities.
No, yeah. But not like Unity did. Am I right? Broken game?
I didn't play that one. Skipped it.
Yeah, I played it after all the patches came out, so I was fine, but the release is the one where you see people's just eyeballs floating around town.
Did not get the title screen until 5 hours into the game.
Which I wanted to like laugh with you when you said that and be like, oh, look, he's joking. And then I was like, actually, you know what? No, he's probably right. He's probably dead on.
I said 6 hours initially, and then I checked my save file afterwards, and it was 5 hours and like 23 minutes or something like that. So I was like, it probably happened around like somewhere around the 5 hour mark.
Obviously, it's not the same thing at all, but can you imagine getting to the Avengers Endgame title screen? It's 5 hours, 3/4 of the way through the movie. They're like, and we begin, and you're like,
it threw me. Like, it happened, and then I was like, wait, this hasn't happened yet? Like,
yeah, more of like I thought we just weren't doing one.
Yeah. What else is interesting about it? That's that I don't know was worth mentioning at the moment. I don't know. I'm probably like 10 to 12 hours into it now.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty healthy chunk.
It's huge.
Yeah, I expect that.
Huge. Bigger than Origins, obviously.
Is it Black Flag?
Yeah. I mean, when you get into the game, like out after the title screen, what you get the title screen when you leave the island you're on.
Yeah, starting island.
Yes. When you look at the map, that's the first thing I thought actually was Black Flag, because
great.
There is equal parts. I don't want to say equal parts. There's a lot of water.
I hate water. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
I don't think it's going to be like Black Flag though, in the regard that like, you're forced into ship combat and stuff like that. From what I've seen so far, ship combat is completely optional, basically.
That's all I need. That's fine.
And it's way faster. Like it's all way faster. Like traveling's faster, running's faster, using the ship, like traveling with the ship is faster. Ship combat's faster.
Yeah, we ain't got time out here anymore in 2018. We gotta get shit
It's basically like, okay, we made this game a little too big, a little too long. Run. So
Don't look. Move.
I took a screenshot and uploaded it in. Like, I don't know if that mechanic's still there, where you'll see people's screenshots.
Oh, in the world.
In the world.
Yep.
And I had a really good one with the ship, and like there was the sun was rising, and it gave you that light effect, and there was like a huge statue of Zeus in the back on an island, and it was like, oh, that's nice. Exactly. He kind of is like, lightning bolt, stick it in my butt.
Lightning bolt my asshole.
Yeah, it's good. We'll get through it sometime.
Yep.
80 hours in.
You got time.
All right, yeah. What are you doing? What do you got going on?
I've officially finished, not 100%ed, but finished Red Dead Redemption 2.
Are you attempting to 100% it?
No. Because I think I would have to go back and do some of the stuff that we talked about might not exist after completing Chapter 6. So I don't plan on going back to 100% it. I plan on going back into the single player the way that I am currently and just try to do some of the side missions I had or like ride around the map and see if I can pop any other ones to show up. But I'm not going to go if the Chapter 6 thing is true, I'm not going to jump backwards to unlock them and finish the game again.
I definitely missed some. I know that.
Yeah.
Did you get the few that I don't know if you remember.
No.
You didn't get the ones that I...
Specifically, I know one of them I did not.
Which one was it?
The brothers. Brother, what's his name?
Oh,
Because I did the first one of helping them with the people out of the basement. In like the marketplace in Saint Denis. Alms for the poor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I did the first one, and then I think I remember seeing it pop up on the map again. But then all of a sudden, that might have been Chapter 5 that I was doing that.
Yeah, it goes from him and then it switches to like a woman, like a sister.
Right, and unless her name is a dude's name that I'm pretty sure is somebody else, it's just gone.
Oh yeah, it would be. It's specific to Arthur, so yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was gone before that.
Okay.
I just didn't see it pop up again, and then I think I had Mayor ones as well that are now gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the only other one because Mary I finished.
Yep.
And Mrs.
Downs.
Yeah, Mrs. Downs.
Mrs. Downs. Whatever.
Mrs. Downs. Max, you rude bastard.
And so that was the only, and it's just like a little character thing that's interesting. That's about. You could probably just look it up online and watch there's like one video you'd need to watch.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Did you play it online at all?
No, I have not yet.
I haven't either.
That's also in my list of at least get in and do a little bit.
Yeah. Fiddle about.
Exactly.
That was my idea with Assassin's Creed as well, is just to kind of like rummage through some of it and get an idea of it.
Right. And then playing some Diablo.
Good old Diablo.
Yeah, we
3?
Yeah. We had a few really rough days with Heroes of the Storm. And so we said, fuck this. We're done. And then we decided we needed something else to play, and we were like, we both own Diablo, so screw it, we'll play that.
Yeah, what happened to the Civ game?
It's still there. I think we just wanted something that that eventually would end, and then just we'd have to start a new game and stuff like that. So I think we just wanted something that we can kind of just
perpetually
playing. Jump in and out of we only have a little bit of time, we'll do this, whatever. And then Battlefield 5. Been jamming there.
Faux shizzle. Good old World War II.
Killing me some Nazis.
Unless you are a Nazi.
And then I'm killing me some Americans. Or Londoners.
Londoners.
Brits, I guess.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's been pretty good. I haven't really had too many problems with it. Like especially now with the new time to kill or like the reverted time to kill and stuff like that. Like the only time I start noticing things, and I haven't looked at like patch notes or whatever, is I was like, man, the Panzerfaust got nuked into the ground. I feel like it just does less damage now, where before it maybe take me like 2 to ruin a tank, and now it's like, all right, I hit 2, I gotta spawn back in again, a few more.
I've noticed it's really crucial where you hit a tank as far as like damage done, especially with the German tanks. Like,
I have also hoped that I accidentally had recording software on that I didn't know about, but I know I didn't, but I just kind of like wish I had clip software going on, because I domed a guy with a Panzerfaust the other day out of the gunner seat of the tank because he spawned. He wasn't there when I shot. But he was a distance away. This tank's meters away, probably 300. I got this thing arced all the way up on the drop dial.
Yeah.
It's no bar is touching the tank, and I'm just hoping. And I just shoot, and then it pops up and goes headshot, and there's no tank damage. It just says headshot and kills somebody, and I'm like, did I drop the gunner? That's the only way I could have done that. There've been like a lot of weird, because this week's challenges are all vehicle based.
Oh, okay.
So there was a lot of Panzerfausting and just any grenade launchers or grenades I had, I was whipping at tanks the entire time. So there were some really weird moments where I'm killing people that are like spawning on tanks, and I'm just like, I'm not really going to complain about it. It's just really funny. It's like, oh, no vehicle hit, 3 kills.
I'm hoping that they add in, I don't know, I think I heard somewhere that they plan on doing that, but adding in like the tank upgrades.
Yeah, they're in the game.
Are they?
Yeah, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have one tier on one of my tanks. You're talking about just like the specialization stuff?
Well, that and like, I know those are in there. I mean, like the upgrades to the tanks as the war progressed. Like, I'm hoping they'll add in like the armor to the gunning spots and stuff like that.
Like modifying the tanks as the award. Yeah. But that's been the run of it. I just looked at my own list, and apparently I wrote Forza twice. I haven't played it, but it's like I didn't edit my list, but I wrote Forza twice in the old one. Weirdo.
That got uninstalled.
Yep, that's out. Not like whatever we've talked about it before. Not because it's bad, just but I need disk space. Gotta go.
Yeah, that and other games.
Yep, I got other things to do. Yeah. New releases the week before Christmas. Guess what? There are some. Go find them on your own. I don't have anything to mention. I have one big thing I'll tell you about. We'll talk about a new release right now. It's not really a new release, but it's a big. I want to get it off the top rather than save it for later. The Steam sale's live.
Oh yeah, I saw that they had the dates up for that. I got the email for your wish list.
Everything on your wish list is on sale.
Anything that you?
I haven't even looked at percentages or anything. I just opened Steam to check if any of my games needed to be updated when I got home. And the splash page is obviously the store page, and it's like, sale. And I'm, okay.
Sell. I wonder if they'll be like...
Sunday.
I wonder if they'll be like super good this year, because they're all like, don't look at the Epic Store. Stay here.
Yeah.
Stay here, children.
Probably not too crazy. Still, I would assume anyway. So I guess we'll go right to the news headlines as collected by Matt.
Yeah, it was a difficult week. Obviously, not a lot happening for reasons. But, number one, starting off this week, we have a small update from a story about China. As you may remember, China was beginning the process of approving games for sale through their newly formed ethics committee. Dun dun dun.
Ah, yes. Though, it's like ethics in games journalism. It doesn't exist. Got him!
At a games conference in Haikou, Fang Shixin, a senior official of the ruling Communist Party's propaganda department.
I love his name.
Yeah.
His name's great.
It is great. Do you like how I added in a way to say it?
Yeah, I like that you cheated. I like the idea though that we I might use that name. Even though it's a completely real name. That definitely might be a character name at some point.
It does sound like, I mean, no offense intended, but it does sound like a character name.
Oh yeah.
Very strong, like.
This is my sidekick, Fang Jackson. Ooh, I'm intrigued by his ambiguity. Anyway, yes, his
he
name.
knows
Continue.
multiple forms of martial arts.
He knows Gankata.
Where were we? Okay, the first batch of games has been approved. No one knows for sure what games were approved, but game publisher Tencent saw a rebound of its stock after the announcement. Tencent is a Hong Kong-based powerhouse in the games industry with subsidiaries like Epic Games and Riot Games. Their stock rose 4.2% immediately after the announcement, but it's still a far cry from its decline of 23% from this time last year, mostly due to China's freeze on game sales. Because they are traded in Hong Kong, in the Hong Kong market. So what goes on in China, a little bit more effect on Tencent than the U.S.
So, I mean, interesting, I guess.
It is, since apparently China is the largest video game market.
I mean, that's pretty much true. It's
Largest market in everything.
Yeah.
At least, or will be at some point.
I mean, just by population alone, it becomes the largest. Almost by default.
Yes, definitely. Probably. Eventually, I'm sure India will get in on that mix, but
They've got to fight PewDiePie for some YouTube views first, though. Oh man, T-Series, once you lost all those bots, what happened to you, baby? Where did you go? Not like I really support PewDiePie, but I just find it,
it's interesting. It's amusing to sit on the sidelines and kind of like
be like,
casual
I don't
spectate.
care technically who else all this is, but I'm kind of with you, Pewds.
He's having fun with
down with the T-Series. Anyway, I'm not drawing lines in the sand. Is all I'm saying. I'm just
You hate Indians. That's fucked up.
Number two. Number two, Warner Brothers has found an interesting way to market its movies in the form of Roblox. We won't get too deep into what Roblox is. Matt, what is Roblox?
It's a game for little kids.
Good answer. Other than to say it's an online game that's super popular with the kids. It's in touch with the kids.
All those parents coming in, I need the Roblox cards.
Is that actually happening?
All the time, bro.
Holy crap.
It's been like that for a while.
I'm pretty sure they also, I think it's an Xbox, I say Xbox exclusive. I'm pretty sure it's not on PlayStation. Anyway.
It is not.
The partnership with Warner Brothers and Roblox first happened with the movie Ready Player One, where the game had a quest that mirrored the plot of the movie. Players were rewarded with a one-of-a-kind in-game item, except for everybody else that got it, that resulted in players investing 47.2 million hours of gameplay from 181 million game sessions.
So I'm going to hop in here because you're reading this, and I'm not reading it, and I wrote this.
I like the breakdown of everything we said in the last 20 minutes. I am reading this. You are going to interrupt me, and I did say you wrote these.
So the article that I read about this, to write this little blurb, throws around a lot of numbers that don't necessarily... The writing was poor on the article, and I had to decipher what a lot of these numbers, what they were trying to say, because I think the person that wrote the article doesn't actually play video games.
Ah, one of them's. Hey, you're young. We need you to write an article about a video game.
Yeah.
You're in touch with the kids, right?
Yeah. So if you get to a point where you're reading about a number and you're like, that doesn't quite make sense.
They probably just floss the entire time.
You could. I was going to throw some Fortnite references in there, but I decided against it.
So 47.2 million hours of gameplay from 181 million game sessions. I wish I knew the math to tell me what an average of that was.
Yeah.
Somebody else divide those. On Warner Brothers' side, they found that Ready Player One tracked higher with teens and kids, which was enough for them to continue the partnership. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald was the next movie to be featured in Roblox, and that event was played 5 times more than the previous. There's a crossover event for Aquaman as well, and Roblox is reporting that it's already had more than 52 million gameplays, whatever the fuck that means, and I'm assuming hours. I don't know. They said gameplay, so if they said 100, maybe they mean sessions at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's currently at a third of what it ran for Ready Player One. I fucking don't know.
I don't know. Interesting though, targeting the children. Think of the children.
I like the idea. Well, good game. I think the idea now is it's
a trap.
Is it better? Is it better or worse if you immediately say we're going for the kids?
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's a trap. You get your kids.
Everybody that is all about, video games are only about kids. They just entrap my kids, and my kids have an addiction problem. Ignore me with my alcohol, my lotto tickets, and I'm spinning the wheel at the casino. Like, that's probably a small portion, but it's immediately like 17 other addictions I can think of that are probably the reason your kid's addicted is because you have a problem. You horrible parent. Anyway.
I looked at it from the other perspective. So it's illegal to market cigarettes to kids, obviously.
I mean, if they catch you.
It's akin. So, like, they're using
the old school Xbox logo in the Cloud Smoke cigarette ad that they had to stop running.
They're using a video game to market a movie to kids, which they market movies to kids all the time.
Or are they using a movie to market a video game to
which
kids?
One is it? Who knows? Either way, they win. And then the parents are forced into taking these little shits to the movies because they're all like, take me to the movies.
I think that's more a bad parent thing.
Take me to the movies, Nate.
Just beat the hell out of it. It'll shut up eventually.
No,
but it's just like, I don't know. There's every time, like we were talking about right before this, we were talking about a Wall Street Journal article that was titled about video games are whatever ruining kids or some horse shit like that. And I'm like, no, the parents suck. They just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, if you can't tell your kids no.
If you can't tell them no or like moderate and kind of control how like their amount of access and stuff like that, then that's on you. You want to go on whatever subreddit it is, I can't remember the name of it, but they're telling stories of like parents that suck, and somebody was a paramedic, and I think they were just like pulled over in a plaza or something, and a woman came up with their child, and the woman's like, oh, hey, can the child like see some like the stuff in the ambulance or whatever? And the paramedic was kind of like, no, like I don't want to, like just like some of it or whatever. And like, okay, like fine, like it's a cool thing, as a kid you see like a fire truck or whatever. And if you're not in the middle of anything or whatever. But she's like, there's a lot of expensive stuff in here. Like if you touch one thing and break it, it's a problem. And she's like, oh no, she won't break it. Like if she does, I'll pay for it or whatever. That's what the parent says. And like, okay, so kid gets up and immediately goes for the most expensive thing, and she's like, no, you can't touch that. And he's like, and then the kid just starts bawling because it's not allowed to touch it, and the parent's like, just let him. It's like, what? No, that's not how this works. You're a shit parent. Fuck off. And then they get a call, and they need to go. So, kid kicked out of back, need to leave. Parents like, oh, can you guys just stay? Because she doesn't want to deal with the kid being a brat. Oh, can you just stay? Like, I'll pay you double whatever it's going to have to be for you to go do your job, whatever. And the paramedic's like, you're telling me as an emergency person, what? You're going to pay me double to not go save a life? Fuck yourself, you entitled bitch. Holy shit, don't get me started. Anyway.
Appeasement, man.
With my flights coming up, I'll beat an ass if I see some shit going down.
Did you fly down last year?
Yeah, I fly down. I fly basically everywhere that's not within a 7-hour drive. No, 5-hour drive. I'll say 5 hour.
I'm just curious because I can't imagine traveling this time of year.
I got delayed last year by a whole day.
Yeah, I remember that now. There was like all that.
And it honestly really wasn't like the travel itself wasn't bad. The delay was the worst part. But like the travel's not bad. It always depends, I guess, if you have like a Kevin McAllister. What was this? Is that the name from Home Alone? Like if you have that family going, it's probably bad. Where it's everybody's got all their stuff. They're a rambunctious group. And it's just like, oh my god, I can't. But I'm also only. It's just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, everybody else, fuck off. I'll work around you for the most part. You're not gonna like impact me. But I can see
so
like
you think.
I can see like 2 6-person families fighting each other, and then at a certain point, me not having enough of it and threatening to fight 12 people because I'm just over it. Or I have my headphones in, and I look at the stewardess, and I'm like, alcohol, whatever you got.
You gonna bring the Switch?
Yeah, I'm gonna have that with me. I usually don't play on the plane though, because my flights really aren't long enough.
Yeah.
I'll probably read on my phone instead. But anyway, that's tangential.
Nerd.
I think. I don't know. Is that a tangent or a non sequitur?
I don't know. All right. I'm stupid.
I don't know the English.
The Overwatch League has received a fun little website.
Fun little website?
Yeah.
Is that what you wrote?
Yeah, fun little website.
Fuck me, I didn't read it right then.
That allows fans to track player violations in the 2019 season.
That's okay?
Are you thinking I was going to talk about the home games?
Violations?
Yeah. Violations.
You just keep going and let me know. I'll guess ask more at the end when you're done.
Called simply a discipline tracker, Blizzard has taken to public shaming, I can speak, by listing the date, player name, team, infraction, and action taken for said infraction. Seems like a lovely idea.
I guess when you've had to ban the same player for being racist.
There's some already up there.
Probably him. He was.
I don't even know.
He was banned once, then banned again because he can't keep his racist mouth shut.
There was a lot of account boosting. A lot of account boosting. What did you think it was?
I mean, there was a story of a guy that during the Overwatch League, independently of the Overwatch League, spun up like an AI tracker and stuff that would watch games along, and it started doing a bunch of like serious statistical stuff and spitting out like basically what is how sports are now like all analytics.
Yeah,
it was doing the same thing and like remeasuring esports people, whatever. And I believe he got picked up by Blizzard or like by the Overwatch League
to like
or by either that or by a specific team to do analyticals for them.
Oh, cool. I did not come across that. But that's cool.
Disciplinary tracker. I like the idea. Put them in the stockades. Hit them with tomatoes.
Yeah.
Is there a comment board?
I didn't see one. To me, it looked
smartly, there shouldn't be.
It looked like it was basically just like a web page, and then it just was just a list, basically of.
Which I don't know why you wouldn't just put that on your regular website. Like you just have like a literally you could just call it a disciplinary tracker, and it would just that's all it would be.
I don't know.
I fucking maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who knows? Let's get to the man. Speaking of Blizzard Entertainment, number 4, Jason Schreier, or as Matt initially wrote, Jason Schreier. The fuck you spell this man's name?
I can never remember. There's too many like I's and E's in there and like R's. It's just like there's really not that many. It's just like the combination.
I like that literally the last 5 letters are an anagram or not or a palindrome, and you can't remember how to spell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I probably would too. Jason Schreier is continuing his coverage of Blizzard Entertainment with an article on some cost-cutting measures that seem to be happening inside the company. It looks like Blizzard is expanding a program called Career Crossroads, quoting the Kotaku article, quote, "It offers healthy severance packages to people who voluntarily take buyouts and choose to leave the company. At first, Career Crossroads was designed for veteran customer service representatives who had been at Blizzard for more than 5 years. But this year, it opened up to QA and IT, according to one person familiar with the program. Blizzard has also lowered the number of years required to take a buyout, opening up career crossroads to even more employees. End quote. Eurogamer has reported that over 100 people have accepted buyouts from Blizzard's customer service office in Cork, Ireland. Jason Schreier's sources also told him that there are rumors of layoffs happening in the beginning of 2019. Interesting stoof.
I started to write it, but then I realized it was completely subjective. But it reminds me of the Steve Jobs interview where he talks about the difference between a creative person and a like marketing person running a company, and like how it shifts. And like that's kind of the feeling I get from this is like they're letting the financial like business executives run Blizzard instead of the traditional creative people that were before.
Right.
It's devastating because in this era of like Uber communication, it's like you literally can watch a company decline in real time.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it might turn around and be a totally different situation.
Maybe.
Because the whole idea is that they're trying to make more games. And maybe
whether or not their quality is good is the problem.
Yeah, like if they do by chance hold up quality and they release more games, then it's going to be like ridiculous. But
impressive, potentially, to say the least.
Big gamble.
Really big gamble.
Okie dokie.
While we're talking about that,
yes,
I am going to introduce this segment that I wanted to introduce right now.
This is frightening. I know nothing of what's going to happen.
I know. It's the best part, isn't it? I didn't know that you would have that story in there, technically. I didn't know that was there. And I looked at the next two, and there's no really other good time to fit this in.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it because I kind of like reading things. Because I like giving them like a slightly dramatic... dramatic read. It's not
the William Shatner read.
Kind of. It's not so much that I like to hear my own voice because that's usually when I'm telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
Not when I'm reading other people's shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually a bragging level with my own voice stories. But this one is the post that you could not see the other day. The Reddit post that I sent you.
Oh yeah.
This was a Reddit post in r/wow by user u/Prida.
I recognize his username. I don't know why.
Titled, Activision Now Runs Blizzard Entertainment. There is no longer a CEO for Blizzard Entertainment, and how did we miss this, guys? The sticky apparently was misleading/false accusations, so I don't really know about that one. And no, this is not news. This is to a completely op-ed. Take it with a grain of salt. I just wanted to read this format mostly, and now you all get to listen to it as well. Here we go. Mike Morhaime, President and CEO of Blizzard Entertainment. J. Allen Brack, President of Blizzard Entertainment. Sometimes parent companies, e.g. Activision Blizzard, will have an influence on their subsidiaries, e.g. Blizzard Entertainment, and sometimes they won't. A little history. Blizzard Entertainment was acquired by Vivendi Games in 1994. In 2008, Vivendi Games, including subsidiary Blizzard Entertainment, merged with Activision, creating a new company, Activision Blizzard, with Vivendi Games remaining as a parent company. In 2013, Activision Blizzard purchased 429 million shares from Vivendi. This deal resulted in the independence of Activision Blizzard as the majority of shares remaining were in the hands of public shareholders. Today, Activision Blizzard is a huge gaming company, with key subsidiary companies including Activision, Blizzard Entertainment, King, Major League Gaming, and Activision Blizzard Studios. All that being said, Blizzard has always retained both its autonomy and corporate leadership. These mergers and acquisitions have, without fail, allowed Blizzard to operate independently of its parent company with its own CEO, until now. Mike Morhaime stepped down on October 3rd, quote, effective immediately, end quote, with J. Allen Brack being promoted as the new president. While Morhaime could have certainly resigned for personal reasons, given what we know about the decisions Blizzard has recently made, I simply think it's far more likely that he was losing control and forced out. This is a man that still believed in making the best game possible, a quote from him. Our original mission and values consisted of 4 simple words that formed our foundation. We make great games. We crafted that statement before we even had released our first game, but we were committed to living up to it. End quote. Now here's where we get to like the solid Nate's still not playing WoW and is kind of disappointed in it. Look at the 2.5 months leading up to and just now. Look at the months leading up to and just now the 2.5 months since his departure. Battle for Azeroth was a rushed expansion. Fuck me, dude. Forced to release in August because of Activision's Call of Duty Black Ops 4 release in October. It is still being marketed on the Blizzard launcher. A joke of a BlizzCon. The worst in recent memory for a variety of reasons. Do you not have phones? Blizzard's PR becoming an absolute joke. Social media, YouTube, etc. have started censoring anything and everything that wasn't praising the product. This includes an enormous amount of downvotes on YouTube. HGC, which is the Heroes stuff, and Heroes of the Dorm being canceled, not profitable enough. Furthermore, Heroes of the Storm developers being moved to newer titles. Is there really that much of a shortage of developers in the market that they can't make new hires, or does being a small indie company with minimal resources prevent hiring of new personnel? World of Warcraft, a game that Blizzard has grown with love and care, is quickly becoming another profit-loss statement. It's being hammered. They're trying to bleed out every last dollar possible without regard to the game's quality. 2 new shop mounts, one tied to a 6-month subscription, and you can't quit if you buy them out. 9 shop items being retired in an effort to boost end-of-year revenue. Speculation of a development shift towards the future content rather than improving existing content. Just look at how rushed 8.1 was despite it taking 4 months. It was completely full of undocumented changes of all types. And him complaining, yada, yada, yada. Design decisions are now aimed at forcing players to spend more time in-game to maintain relevancy in collecting or PvE power. And many of the game systems, including combat, gameplay, and class design, have become oversimplified in an effort to attract new players. This is a hallmark of J. Allen Brack. Now, this has been going on for a while, so I'm going to take a breath here. Whew. Thoughts so far, Matt? I have a look. I'm halfway. I'm a little over halfway.
I'm appreciating the doom and gloom.
It's not good. It's not good. But this is the part where I get to now start to involve you. Yes, J. Allen Brack. He is that guy that told us the WoW player base on a stage at BlizzCon, you think you do, but you don't. That, by the way, is in regards to people wanting Classic. He is now the president of Blizzard Entertainment. It was obvious that... Oh, hold on. It was obvious that he was shut down after those comments, as we never saw him publicly disparage the Classic community again. If you look at the numerous articles and interviews since the Classic announcement last year, you will notice he talks about this purely from an economical standpoint. Not once does he ever offer an apology to the community for his smug reaction, and never once does he say anything on a positive note regarding his own feelings for the game. This shouldn't come as a surprise, though. Brack's philosophy in game design is to oversimplify so the masses won't be deterred by the game being too hard or too complex. Does that sound familiar to you with the changes to modern WoW? Class design and pruning? Imagine how he feels about the vanilla experience. Let's see. This video, which there's a link to, which I'm not going to click on, obviously, offers a good history lesson on Brack and his tenure with Star Wars Galaxies.
Dun, dun, dun.
In short, Star Wars Galaxies was a sandbox MMO with complex systems and challenging content. And this is the part where I need you to tell me if this guy's right in what he's saying. Okay. So you let me know. In challenging content. For example, I think it took around 4 months for the first player to obtain Jedi.
I think it was longer than that, but 4 months, that wouldn't be surprising.
It was rare and not easy to obtain.
No, it's fucking hard. I wish I actually, if we look it up, if you look at the original list, it was of what you had to accomplish. It's obviously that they meant like no one to get this thing, like in the grand scheme of things. Like a single percentage point of players would have it.
It was also extremely overpowered. The combat system was unique to Star Wars Galaxy, and almost universally. Help me out.
Universally?
Thank you. Celebrated. I wanted to add like another like Earl in there.
We're having like a tongue-tied night.
Yeah,
like
it's
I
bad.
feel like there's cotton in my mouth. I'm like,
Just feel like there's, I don't know, lips. It had a fierce, loyal player base. When Brack arrived at launch as a producer that oversaw development, he partitioned the development team into two groups. Current content and future expansions. With the current content team under his control, the game was massively simplified. And the player base simply abandoned it because their game was taken away from them. Specifically, Brack designed and implemented the combat upgrade, which was completely unnecessary overhaul of the combat system, from something unique and amazing to the same copy and paste combat system every other game at the time used.
That's accurate. We went from 40 plus professions down to, I think it was 6 or 8.
Why? He deemed it as a barrier for entry. He also designed the NGE for you Galaxy guys. What's the NGE?
I think it's like new game experience or something like that,
Okay.
or new Galaxy experience, or
Additionally, the way he fixed the Jedi problem was to make it easily available to everyone, including new players.
yeah. So it went from essentially, which it's like 2 different games. The first game had like, you could literally be anything in the Star Wars world. You could be a fucking dancer in a bar. You could be a bioengineer. You could be a stormtrooper. You could be a martial artist. And then they went to like smuggler, Jedi, mercenary, bounty hunter, like, you know, the generic archetypes that are inside the Star Wars movies.
And this isn't meant to shit on Brack specifically. This is just to kind of like scare people about WoW, because now is the part where I will read the moderator's first comment, which has been locked in this thread. I'm locking this thread for the toxic shit show it has turned into in the comments, which, no shit.
That's so when Nate sent me the link, I couldn't read it. I was working. So when I went home, the post was removed. I couldn't find a cached version of it. And then it wasn't pulling up on my browser or anything like that. So I just read through the comments, and it was like, I was like, what the fuck was this?
Yeah.
Like,
And then 2, the amount of misinformation found in the OP. In an attempt to stop it spreading, and the defamation. So, everything I just said isn't exactly true. But this is the kind of fucking hate shit that keeps getting spilled around like Blizzard and stuff, and it's the same stuff if you go into the fucking Bethesda subreddits. It's the same shit where people are just like, this sucks for this, and I was like, do you have actual like facts?
yeah, like,
Or are you running with stuff you're reading from other people complaining and then combining it all together?
the first community that I can recall this being a huge, like, noticeable problem in was Destiny. Like, obviously it's happened in other game communities, but the first time
No Man's Sky.
yeah, like, there was this, like, I don't know, it was on like another level. And it was like, first time I was like, Destiny, I was like, what the fuck is going on in these forums right now? And
Yeah.
then Fallout, obviously.
Yep. WoW has just been getting shit showed.
Where it's like there's like a 0.5% of the population that's like hyper toxic, and they're just like, I can't have an intelligent conversation about anything. I need to like dump.
So
Which
it's the same problem I have with we're gonna get back to games, I swear. Yeah. But it's the same problem I have with lefts and rights. They both think it's impossible to talk to the other one because they both use such negative connotations, and like, can't talk to you, you're an idiot, you don't listen to me. And it's like, wait, no, you're doing the exact thing you're complaining about. That doesn't work. And it was happening in a Fallout 76 post that I saw specifically, where he wrote it all out. Like, people are giving this game way too much shit. And the guy was a new player. He's played for about 8 hours. He bought it on sale now. He's gotten patches. So he's not in the beginning, but whatever. But he wrote that, and then I'm pretty sure he edited, and all you guys sitting here just giving me shit for wanting to give me shit can piss off. And then he deleted it. But it's like, you can't. No. It's everybody's fine to say what they want to say, but the moment you say you can't say this because this, that doesn't. Oh, it's so. You just want to put people in a room and punch them.
It's the Thanos concept of perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
Like extremism breeds extremism.
Yeah.
So you end up with these game subreddits or game forums or wherever the hell you're looking.
Or any forum that has a they can have a side.
Yeah. That's like this game blows and the developers like stabbed us in the back. And then you get the guy who's like, I'm the White Knight. This game's perfect. You piss off, and it just turns into a shit show because none of them can like.
Which if they said this game sucks, these guys screwed us, and stopped right like point periods right there, and the next person came and was like, this game's great. I love it. They did everything right, and they ended it right there. Those would both be fine statements, but both of them go, and everybody that's saying the opposite of what I just said is being way too dramatic, or is way too ignorant, or is way too blah, blah, blah. It's like, But to continue the moderator's post, I'll use this opportunity to also link to these comments from Ralph Coaster, whose identity has been confirmed by the mod team, who commented on this thread debunking a good portion of the false accusations that are in the OP about J. Allen Brack. Here we go. Jay not only did not do the NGE, he insisted it was the wrong thing to do and left SOE over it.
I think there's a... Is that the one where they link to the interview and article and stuff?
Probably.
Okay.
That's his actual post is further down.
Okay.
But this is just the mod guy pulling from him and going up. This entire theory is incorrect. I posted some of this in a thread, but I don't think anyone will see it there. I was the original creative director of Star Wars Galaxy, in case anyone wants to check my bona fides. Jay did not do the SWGNGE. In fact, he objected loudly to it. He stood on principle that it was wrong and unfair to the players, and he and SOE parted ways over it. He was a producer on Star Wars Galaxy from the team's founding. In fact, he came over from Origin with the rest of the original team, where we had all worked together on a canceled version of Privateer Online. Jay was never a designer either, so he did not, quote, design the CU or NGE, nor were they his idea. From what I... FWIW. Fuck, I never remember that one. Jay's been a producer on WoW since before the first expansion. Every expansion you liked had him working on it.
For what it's
so
worth.
did all the ones. Yeah, for what it's worth. And so did all the ones that you didn't. So it's just one of those things where it's like those communities, man. They'll start kind of spitting hot fire over nothing.
Well,
not over nothing, but
comparatively to other games that have failed, Star Wars Galaxies has a surprising amount of information about what happened to it online, because it's talked about a lot too. So it's like you can basically run through the entire history of the game with like every employee, and find out like what went wrong.
It's like watching the Chernobyl disaster on Wikipedia,
and it's
second
not
by
like,
second breakdown.
And if all this can be intelligently argued and criticized and not resort to like
what it is,
closed-mindedness,
which is what it's resorted to now. This guy ruined something that I really like, and I think Chris Metzen could never do any wrong. Chris Metzen is the voice of Thrall, one of the original designers of World of Warcraft. So you get both people out of the closet. You get hey, I just got to WoW. It's pretty good, but you have people that live through bad, live through bad, live through good, live through everything, and they're like, but it's not what I want, and it's like, that's not how this works. They don't design a game for you. But it is the problem with making stuff almost oversimplified, where that does become a problem.
That's the WoW issue at this point, and I don't know if anyone's done it successfully. WoW is an old game, and it has an old player base, but at the same time, it can't sustain that. Like, it needs to be able to bring in new players. But how do you bring in new players to a game where the player base is, freaking almost 2 decades old?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of things that they made that have been really good for the game. But I do think there are things that also are a lot of super oversimplification. Where it's like you could still do old talent trees where there are 3 trees and you get points and you just go down them.
Yeah.
Because then you could still have variety in some of the
Yeah,
builds. Now it's so clearly you play one way.
It's funny to me because like the stuff that they seemed to, the obvious changes they made, like the talent trees, for example, weren't what the problem was as far as attracting new players, I feel like.
Right.
There was, it was other stuff.
I think it was the stuff like the Dungeon Finder,
Mm-hmm.
where now you don't have to go to these meeting stones and everything.
Yeah.
You just, until late game when you're completely able to do that, it's just, no, you press I and hit find group. Oh, you mean I don't have to now wander through worlds trying to figure out where I'm going and all this other shit? There's a lot of quality of life stuff like that was really good. Then there's some other stuff where it's like they didn't really need to do that. I get why they did some of it, but I kind of miss having more creativity, I guess.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, no, if you play a Rep Paladin, you play a Rep Paladin with these talents. Otherwise, you will not perform well enough.
Which is, it's going back to that post. It's funny because the argument, the thing that we're talking about now that is happening, I guess, to WoW, where they're trying to simplify it to attract new players, is like what happened to Star Wars Galaxies is the extreme of that.
Yeah.
They took a system that was very complicated. It was a really complicated system. And they oversimplified it to the point of where it's like a 6-year-old could play it.
Right.
When your player base was like, I'm sure Galaxy's demographic was probably like 25 to like 45.
Right.
But oh well.
And WoW's usually teens to, X number.
Yeah. Like it's probably,
But you're still getting in at like, I want to say 16 as the base number, but it's going to be pretty close to that because you still have to have somebody's paying your 15 a month, stuff like that. So
yeah.
It's not, you're going to have like a 4-year-old playing it. I don't know. We'll see. Regardless, my problem isn't the oversimplification. My problem is all the other stuff. The story's not that good.
That was what I was
currently.
going to ask.
There's all this
forgot. Do you think if WoW is simplified, if we take WoW in its current form, it's somewhat simplified form or whatever, but the story and content was good,
I wouldn't care.
care?
I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
If the story was good and the content's good and it's keeping me playing and yada yada yada,
the lore was
like I'm
good.
playing Diablo, killing the same monsters over and 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 X and that because it's entertaining. I've already beaten the main campaign. I know the story. The story's good, but I'm there because I'm enjoying getting loot and all this stuff. It's just not enjoying in WoW anymore, and it's now this weird, difficult gates and artificial walls in place, and I'm just like, nah, you know what? I can't. I can't. I did enough to make sure I got the first raid done on normal, complete, and then I was just like, you know what? Let's push for heroic. I've already done it. But that's also me as a raider. I'm just like, I've already done it. I'm good.
To a certain extent, I kind of am hoping that
it's the problem I had with First Destiny, where stuff was like with WoW. Running dungeons is entertaining. It's like one of my favorite things to do, especially if you have a group of friends. You all are in chat and you're playing WoW as a secondary to hanging out, kind of, because you're all just talking and whatever, and then you're also playing WoW. And then there's the Mythic Plus dungeons where you can ramp up your difficulty somewhat, give yourself some better rewards, and you're still hanging out, but you're still challenging yourselves, so it's fun. They tuned that so hard that it no longer became fun, and I just didn't want to be there anymore. So the comparison to the Destiny thing is we were running playlists of strikes, and we ran probably 30 strikes in a night a couple times.
Yeah.
Mindlessly, because it's just like, yeah, we're hanging out, we're having a good time,
shooting the shit.
And even when like
it was relaxing.
Yeah, it was once we got the raid, we had a couple rough nights. I say rough in quotes, mostly me getting angry twice, which was enjoyable for everybody else. So I mean, really, can I complain? It was a win. And then once we had the raid like down in our heads, it was, oh, all right, let's just go do the raid. And 30 minutes later, it's done. But it was an entertaining challenge. You know, it was a learning thing. It wasn't what Mythic Pluses are, or heroics, where it's like, no, just do it better and harder. And it's like, what? No, nah. Anyway, like I said, I can go on about WoW, but I got other stuff I want to rant about a little bit. But that was just, I thought that I wanted to read that to you and how it was.
No,
Yeah,
that's
there's all this stuff. By the way, a lot of what you just complained about isn't like true. So, all right.
Yeah. I still appreciate the fact that people are still bringing up Star Wars Galaxies, though. That makes me feel better.
It was literally because I saw Star Wars Galaxies, and I was like, I gotta send this to Matt.
Yeah.
The only person I know that played it.
I still have it installed. Like, I installed it.
If you did play it, send me a message on whatever things. I'm really curious. Post in the subreddit. Honestly, go post in the subreddit. If you can remember anything about your character too, give me everything you can in a post on the subreddit r/gamers2 because I'm really fucking curious. Don't lie. I'll know if you're lying.
I downloaded the whatever they are, the independent servers,
right?
How they call them. And I hopped into the game at one point, but it's just not. It's just so like obviously there's no one playing it, so it's like. How you populate that world. Yeah. So it's just like you walk in it and it's literally this massive world and there's just nothing in it. And you're just like, this is awkward.
It'd be really funny if you could spin up like a bunch of fake accounts, like a bunch of AI.
Like bots or something.
A bunch of bot AIs just to be other players and be like, all right, there's people here. Look at this populated world.
Yeah.
Hey, guy, what's going on? Yeah, you want to go do something? Yeah, let's go do something. All right. And it's like total like Westworld-esque almost.
I would be down for that.
It'd be really funny, actually.
Okay, number 5.
Cinco.
Sony has accidentally leaked player counts for PS4 with the recent launch of My PS4 Life. My PS4 Life is meant to create personalized videos that highlight the games people have played and the trophies they have earned, but it also shows the exact number of people who've earned said trophies. Using that number and the percentage of players who obtain that trophy, which you can get from your trophy page, you can pretty much figure out how many people are playing a game. Here's some of the player numbers that people have looked up. I didn't do any of this math. I relied on other people doing it because I'm lazy. So, Fallout 76. 406,000 peeps have played that game.
That's not good.
That's not.
No.
GTA 5. 51.7 million. That's a big number.
Now, see, those are numbers.
Those are not rookie numbers.
Yeah, those aren't rookie numbers. We pump those numbers up.
This one surprised me, which I guess it shouldn't because it was free. Rocket League. 22.6 million. FIFA 19, 12.5 million. That seems low to me.
It should.
FIFA 18, 32.5 million.
Yep.
Here's where we get into the interesting ones.
And it would be interesting to look at these all again after Christmas.
Yep. Black Ops 4, which this is the one that made me think of that. Black Ops 4, 9.2 million.
Yeah, you gotta get those Christmas noobs.
COD World War II, 24.6 million. And Ghosts, 12.6 million.
Ooh, the launch PS4 title.
People fucking hated that game.
That was my first time stepping back into a twin stick COD in a while. When we bought our PS4s, I bought that.
Same, actually.
And I was playing with the guys, same crew.
Mm-hmm.
Took me a bit. It took me a bit to get back to it, but then I was easily the second best one there.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm back. I can do this. All right, I can carry this. And then I didn't play another one again for like 5 more years, and I tried to do it again. And I went, what the fuck was I doing? Now I play PC mouse, and I'm like 26-7 on Battlefield. And pew, 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 pew. That's what I do. That's how I play the game. I run around and just yell, pew, 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 pew. It's like the foam finger gun in Dead Space.
These numbers, by the way, aren't hard facts. According to the website GameStat, many of the numbers are region specific and don't take into account games with multiple editions that may have differing trophies.
Okay, lame. Get out, lame. But still interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun to ponder a bit.
A wee bit. A wee lad.
A weenie.
A wee moek, a wee moek, a wee.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle. All right.
And there's your Disney fix for the day.
Getting weird in here.
Let it go.
Oh.
Hey. Anyway. I mean, do we talk about it?
Okay. People are suing Fortnite because they stole dances.
That's really like all I want to say. I mean, we talked about it last time.
I think the specific point here... Ooh, a ladybug. That's whack. Get warm out.
Yeah, really.
It's currently like 50-something degrees in New York right now.
Yeah, it's raining.
It's weird.
My snow's gone.
It is.
Welcome to a spring Christmas where it's going to look like shit.
Yep. Okay, so I think the issue with the Fortnite dance thing is that Fortnite is monetizing the dances. I think that's where the complication comes in.
And that part, I can argue with you.
Is it the fair use thing?
There's no like real argument here.
There's two facets.
I will play true devil's advocate, but not completely.
There's two facets to this. It's the copyright side of it. Can you copyright a dance? And then there's if you can copyright a dance, like obviously Fortnite can't monetize said dance. But that's the simplified version of what's happening. I don't even care about the argument about I think it's morally we've actually talked about this exact thing before, I think.
We've talked about a lot of stuff when it comes to copyright and people stealing shit.
Yeah, it's morally questionable, I feel like. But
I mean, I step over the line every day. Just got to make sure it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the obviously neither of us are lawyers. So to say
speak for yourself.
To say what we
Bird
know
law.
I practiced CPR once. No, to say what can and can't be copyrighted is kind of not disingenuous, unknown. There was stuff that came out that was saying stuff like that it has to be long, like an X amount of time. It has to be like a big choreographed thing. But I think the real kick is Carlton. That's the one. 2 million probably has a leg to stand on because you really can't see that anywhere else.
Yeah, Carlton, that's going to be a fight.
From Alonzo Ribeiro, it's going to be a fight, but it's also one that doesn't look good for him for a few things, in my eyes. He's on record saying he stole the dance. He took it from what's her name from that in I think a Bruce Springsteen music video, and like adapted it. So it's like that's already not good.
Yeah,
you're going through the copyright process, and this is the part where we're talking about where I'm like, once somebody's got that much money and you're the king of the thing, people are just gonna start gunning for you. So now you're gonna say that now you want it. It's in Horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the funny part.
It's in Destiny.
You saw the post or whatever?
Yes,
of the GIF?
There's a lot of games that it exists in already, but now you're going at Fortnite. So what's the difference with Fortnite versus the other ones?
They sell it.
So that would be the argument, is that they sell it. You can earn V-Bucks for free. Now what's the argument?
They sell it for money.
You can earn V-Bucks for free.
But you also sell it.
For free.
Money.
For free.
For money, though.
Destiny does that.
Yeah, but you don't buy the dances directly, do you?
Silver.
Well, then sue Destiny, too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where it's going to come down to, like, you either sue everybody or you don't sue anybody.
Well, or you just sue the person with the most money and see if it works.
Right,
first.
Which is what they're probably going to do, except that I'm pretty sure Epic has more money than Alonzo Ribeiro does.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming he's hoping they settle.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be it. But I don't know. It's just like this whole thing. It was in Uncharted. It was in all this other stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just like a really weird situation.
It is.
Obviously it was brought up with Donald Faison and his dance during My Half Acre on Scrubs. Yes, I know the episode name because I fucking love that episode. But still, it's not. Wait, that is My Half Acre, right?
I don't know. I'm not a nerd.
Oh shit! I think it's My Own Half Acre. Anyway, yeah, it's just an interesting one. Millie will probably settle. The Riviera one's just going to be one where people are going to be like, what? But that's, my bitter self, me, I would just remove all dances from the game. I would just strip them straight, like, like flip a switch. Like, they're still there, but you can't do anything about them. Like, hide them all and just turn them all off. And then go, there you go. We got you guys, don't worry. Like, settle the money thing afterwards, but just be like, don't worry about it. You don't have to see your dance anymore. It's gone. You're not a part of this game anymore. Like, it would be super dickish, which is why it's totally a me thing to do. But it'd be really funny if the moment somebody went, hey, you can't do that, they're like, oh yeah, all these people that love you, by the way, cool. And just turn it off. And
See,
then
I think that's part of the problem, though.
But then it would passively, without that, they wouldn't have to say anything. The only press release they would have to make is, due to the ongoing lawsuit, this is disabled in game from here on out.
Yeah.
And that would do one of two things. It would divide their community, pay him, or you'd have people going at Alonzo and go, what the fuck? So then now you divide the Fortnite community into an argument center again, with half of it kind of probably, well, I would say it's probably going to go 50-50, where they either go Epic and they're like, just pay the dude, or they go to Alonzo and they go, fuck off, it's like 30 seconds. So that it's going to be an interesting thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Thank God I don't give a shit.
I find it's...
I
get where he's coming from, because that was his legacy, essentially.
Yeah.
Everyone knew the Carlton dance and associated him with it.
Right.
Now it's associated, or it very easily could become associated with Fortnite. And, that's just the dance from the game Fortnite. Right.
So it could be this is mine, I don't want to lose it situation, which is, that's understandable. I get that. It's just, what kills me is seeing people so vehemently defend one way or the other. It's the same thing we just talked about with our stuff before, where extremism breeds extremism. And people get so vehemently, oh, I can't believe a game just does this. And it's like, I'm not going to call out the person that I saw do this because it was on Twitter, and I'll tell you about it afterwards. But they called out and pulled up the clips of side by side, and they literally just stole it. It's recreated perfectly right there. It's not even a cut and dry situation, or it's a cut and dry situation in his eyes. And I immediately went, that's not the only time this has happened. You can't bark now. You as not Alonzo Ribeiro can't bark now. You can't go at Fortnite as just some dude, right? You can't go at Fortnite and go, holy shit, that is a 1-for-1 recreation. Yes, it is. Forza's is a 1-for-1 recreation. Oh, it's not being sold. Destiny's is a 1-for-1 recreation. It's being sold. What, I just want people to be fucking consistent, and they never are.
But you're asking people to know everything then. The reason why Fortnite's getting it is because it has more exposure than every other game. I'm not asking
people to know everything. I'm asking a person who is in the video game industry who should at least know to do 5 to 10 minutes of research beforehand to go, hey, has this been around anywhere else before? Because I'm pretty sure they've played Destiny and they've probably seen it. To go, huh. Oh, this is happening. These games need to stop doing this. Don't lambaste just Fortnite. Go against all games stealing creators' ideas and monetizing them without their permission. Do it that way. That's the part I have issue with.
Yeah.
I don't need them to know everything. I need what I consider to be an intelligent person to take 10 minutes.
I get that.
It's the same thing that happened during the NFL rule calling when I started getting angry at all the sports guys a couple of years ago. Oh, it says right here in the rule book you need to do this. You're all not. Go. You can download the NFL fucking rule book, you nerds. Go actually read it. Not some Joe Schmo out of South Florida posting, as you can clearly see here from this Word document that I snipping tooled. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck yourself. You wrote that. Anyway, sorry.
I think I agree with the general sentiment. But I think the real world issue, though, is the court of law, like how law generally works. Like, nothing becomes, like, there has to be a precedence for it.
Yes.
Set. So, like, Fortnite's going to be the precedence, and then every other game's going to follow suit afterwards.
And speaking just on the copyright thing, there's only I don't know, but I've heard stuff about copyrights before, and somebody was saying something along the lines. This is years ago when copyright came up about something else, or I don't know when he started the process of getting it copywritten. So say like Epic puts it out, right, and then he reactionarily puts in to get it copyrighted. I don't know how that then looks. Mm-hmm. I also don't know if that the opening of the copyright appeal would probably be, like date wise would be interesting to see. But then also there's been stuff said before where it's like if you have something copywritten or you're trying to copyright it or something like that, you need to protect that.
Yeah, it's up to you to protect it. So you need
to start suing or, like going after companies that you see. Same thing with like patents and, you know. You have to protect what you're considering your unique idea. Yeah. So somebody else can't claim it because same thing like the quote unquote squatter stuff where it's like if you start taking care of a property, which this was brought up to me at one point, if you start taking care of a property that no one's on after so long, you can just apparently assume control of that. Apparently. I don't know how that actually works.
It's like a form of eminent domain.
Yeah. So it's like you could just assume control and it's yours. And it's like, well, now that's the part where I'm like, because you haven't gone after the other ones, do they say like that's where it's like that argument plus where the copyright date starts. Yeah. Where it's like, when did you decide to think you should copyright this? Or, like that whole court thing is going to be interesting if they even go to court.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting because I can totally understand like if I was in his position, I probably wouldn't think to copyright it because like you never thinking like I don't just walk around my life thinking worst case scenarios and being like super paranoid.
Probably wouldn't think to until the first thing started selling it.
Exactly.
The very first thing that somebody came to me and said, "Hey, they're selling your dance." Like, whoa, wait a second, and then that would be I'm not making money on this. Now we have a problem. Yeah. But that would be the first thing that somebody said. So maybe this is the first thing he's known about, but apparently, that's the. It's hard. It's a really like. There's so much gray.
Yeah, there's a lot of facets.
I'm happy I don't actually have a side in it. I get to just yell from both sides and yell loudly about stupid people commenting on this thing, but it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Ideally, any person that wanted to use content gets permission of the person or uses it in actual the words I'm trying to think of.
Fair use?
Fair use. Uses it in actual fair use where they do modify it enough that they can deem fair use. Where it is, edited or whatever. I don't think Epic in this case can say fair use, but I mean like in the terms of somebody takes... Because that's what the whole thing is with games as a whole is as a YouTuber. Yeah. If you take a game and or like whatever and just post it, the games are really bad, but like that's not fair use. You didn't do anything. It was what happened to Ray William Johnson where he took YouTube videos and put them up and commented on them, but didn't do anything to them, so they're not fair use. Yeah. He's just replaying them. Mm-hmm. But if you can actually do enough to them and like whatever, make it your own, then you can claim for it. It's like that also is a kind of a gray area.
I wouldn't be surprised if this and the whole loot box thing start to bleed into each other too, because a lot of going back to the like pointing out all the other games, they're all hiding. I don't want to say it that way because that's totally biased, but what they have going for them in this argument is the fact that a lot of the stuff, like the dances, are obtained through loot boxes. So you're not actually.
Oh, and I think
you don't know what you're buying.
I think it's in TF2, by the way, which is also.
Yeah, that was. I saw that one.
That was the other one I was forgetting because TF2 has its own economy, but that's weird. Yeah. But the thing with the loot boxes is there's a monetary value assigned to the loot box.
Yeah.
So therefore, you are technically buying whatever's in it. Mm-hmm. So even if you don't get the dance, you bought the dance.
Yeah. Which. That's the thing, as we're talking about a lot of stuff right now that's so new that there isn't settled like regulation or law or rules or like even.
And we once again have way too many people. Screw it. I say this all the time anyway, so I'll just say it now. We once again are going to run into the situation where we have people that are way too fucking old that don't understand this ruling on it.
Yeah. Like the guy. Did you see that? This is happened. I have no concept of time right now in my life, but I think it happened like 2 weeks ago.
It's Friday, December 21st.
The senator who basically asked.
Asked the Google CEO, "Why is this showing up on my iPhone? What the fuck are we doing with you old people?" Oh my! I honestly read that headline and went, "I'm not even clicking on the article."
That's so embarrassing. I felt so dirty and embarrassed. I was like, "Oh no!"
I'm happy the CEO kind of played it off like. Playfully,
yep.
It was just like, well, it's my company doesn't make that phone, but it was just like at the same time, you're like, what do you call me here for? Like, that's like pulling Zuck in and going. So with MySpace now being, and you're like, what? Why is he? He's a lizard. Why is he doing? All right, whatever. He's sitting on a book briefcase. Yeah, that's it. Nate's starting to lose his voice. Not really, but
I'm just so like
yeah,
cottonmouthy right now.
I don't know if I'm necessarily cottonmouth. I don't know. Something's going on. I got this like not lisp, but I can't talk.
Yeah,
my tongue tied.
It's got to be the pizza. Did something to us. They put something in the pizza.
Rohypnol, rape drug. The only two things other than the Steam sale that I already talked about at the top that I wanted to call out are. Your Humble Bundle Monthly is still what it was. Project Cars 2 plus Just Cause 3 XXL Edition and Wizard of Legend plus more after the new year. And there's still the giant bundle as they're adding more games to it still through the rest of the month of the Yogscast Jingle Jam bundle.
Faux shizzle. That's it for us. We got 2 more episodes before the end of the year. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We'll see you guys next Friday. Bye-bye.